Just finished winterizing the trailer. The tanks, the water heater are drained. The water's out of all the lines. I flushed them and filled them with antifreeze. So we're good to go, right? No. Last year I made a huge mistake. I'm going to cover it so you don't make the same one. Stay tuned. So anyway, I just finished winterizing all the tanks and all the plumbing fixtures. And last year I stopped there. I made one huge mistake. I forgot to winterize the batteries and it cost me dearly. We ended up having to replace both batteries because I left them out here on the trailer unattended all winter long. So with AGM batteries and deep cycle batteries, the kind of batteries you find on most RVs, you really do need to baby them during the winter time so that they'll last a long time for you. So here what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to be showing you how to care for those batteries. If we haven't met before, I'm John with Let's Go Now Adventures. In our channel is about all things camping. Whether it's tent camping or RV camping, we like to give you tips and tricks to help make your camping experience that much better. So if you like this video, give us a big thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our tips in the future. Today's video though is RVs, and we're going to talk about how to winterize the most common kinds of batteries on an RV, which is the AGMs and the sealed lead acids. So the first thing we want to do is get the batteries off of the trailer. So when winterizing your batteries, there's basically two components, two things we want to do. One is we want to keep our batteries warm. The second is we want to keep our batteries topped up. If we do those two things during the wintertime, that will extend the life of our batteries for as long as we can. And these batteries can be expensive, and so we want to make sure that they work for us for many years to come. So one of the things I've done is I've built in a battery disconnect system. So at the beginning, the first thing we want to do is take away the ground. So on my system, all I have to do is take this one knob out. And this battery is now disconnected from the trailer. Now we'll take this one and now we've got a free ground. Now we've got a free ground wire. So there is no power going. So the only mistake I can make now is if I cross connect the two posts. So what we'll do is I'm going to take off the positive terminal on this one. Let's just unhook. And I'm just going to put this back in. Now I'm just going to repeat the process for the other battery. So now that we've disconnected the batteries, next step is we're going to take them off of the frame and take them inside where it's warm. I'll see you in there. So we're now inside. Welcome. It's much warmer in here. A couple of considerations we want to do is we want to figure out where we're going to store them. We want to store them in a spot that's out of the way. We're not tripping over them, but they're not out of sight, out of mind. The other thing is we'll want to make sure that there's adequate ventilation around them. We don't want to put them in a small closet. One of the big concerns is we want to make sure that we're keeping them in a warm enough spot. At the minimum, we want them above freezing. Ideally, we'd like them above 50 or 60 degrees. Here, it's just over 60 degrees, and it'll stay that way most of the winter. So this is a good spot. I'll just put them down in the corner, not on the cement, like on a board or something like that. The cement will steal the heat from the batteries. And keeping these batteries at temperature is one of the keys to keeping their life long so that you can enjoy it for years and years to come. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the battery with my multimeter. I've got it to set to voltage 12 volt, and we'll read it. Right now this battery is, it's just about, just shy of 100%. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hook it up to my Shoemaker charger. This is a smart charger, in that it'll take a battery from uncharged all the way to full. But the reason that's nice is it senses how much voltage is on the battery, and it adjusts the current flow to the battery based on how much voltage the battery's putting back. So let's see what it says. We're at 12 volts is the voltage going in. One moment, and it'll give me a reading. And it looks like 96%. So one of the things we want to make sure is that we're at 100% before we get ready to winterize and store these things for the winter. So we'll check back in just a moment. All right, as you can see, I've now got a green light on my charger. Let's just hit any button and you can now see that it says it's 100%. We're completely full. So we're going to unplug this charger. Disconnect the leads. Now that my charger has said that it's at 100%, we're going to come in here and we're going to check it ourselves. So we'll use our multimeter again and we'll take a look at it. And we are actually at about 104%. With a battery, that's okay. You can do that. Now from here, there's basically two ways to go. We could use this charger and we mark it in our calendar at least once a month, maybe every 2 weeks, is we'll just re-hook up this charger and we'll charge it and make sure that it's full. You can use whatever system you'd like. You can put it in your calendar or just do it with the days you get paid or some system that reminds you that every so often you need to get on there and charge the batteries back up. The reason is deep cycle batteries will self-discharge, meaning that the battery level will drop with nothing hooked to them. So that's why we have to come back in and periodically charge it. So we can just hook up this on a regular basis at least once a month. The second thing you can do is you could get what's called a float charger. Some people call it a trickle charger or a battery minder. This is a device that we're going to hook to our battery the same way we did our charger, but this only works when the battery's already full. So you hook it up and then you plug it in. And what this does is it only provides a tiny bit of energy back to the battery so that what happens is the battery starts to drop. This kicks in and gives it just enough power to bring it back up to the top. And this can sit on here all winter long, just maintaining a 100% battery. Now, one thing about a float charger, trickle charger, or a battery minder is things are wired for different chemistries. So this is an AGM battery here, but there's also flooded batteries. There's sealed lead acid batteries, and it's a whole different video for lithium batteries. But for this, I've selected one that works for an AGM battery. It's recommended for my type of battery. And this way, I feel confident that it can safely sit on here all winter long, maintaining this. So my battery is going to be toasty warm, completely full, and it'll be a happy battery, and I'll be a happy camper when spring rolls around. So now my float charger is on and running. It's one of the two things that my battery needs to be happy. Remember, it's keep the battery warm and keep the battery full. Whichever method you choose, whatever works for you, this will save you money in the long run. It'll give you years of lifespan on your batteries, and it'll make sure that when you're ready to go on your next adventure, you're prepared and you've got plenty of battery power on board. I use 2 batteries. Make sure you get one for each one. Now, in the links down below, for your convenience, I'll include a link to the charger. I'll include a link to the trickle charger or the float charger. I'll also include a link to the battery. Now, of course, you're watching this video, so you won't need to purchase a new battery in the spring like I did. If you liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you're notified when I release other camping tips. So from Let's Go Now Adventures, I'm John. We'll see you on the next adventure.